This video is brought to you by Cool Green Clothing.
I'm switching lanes so much, man. They can never get behind me, man. Yeah, I'm taking it all away, man. I ain't playing with them, man. One thing is the key, man. It's consistency, man. It don't matter, man, how good the product is, man. If you ain't out there, man, to get rid of it, man, the supply to demand, man, you going down, man. You in it for nothing, man. Get with me, man. I'm starting a whole league, man. Get with me, man. Get with the winning team, man. Cool Green Clothing. We going all the way, and we coming straight out of Baltimore.
What's up, YouTube fam? It's your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 times, and I'm back with another video. In this episode of the Baltimore Way, I will be discussing the tragic slaying of a 20-year-old who had her sights set on making it big one day. Before we get into this video, please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to our channel. Go ahead and click that notification bell to get notified every time we upload. If you're rocking with the content, smash that like button. Feel free to share this video with everyone you know. Make sure you watch until the end to hear the whole story. Alright, let's jump right into it. Jasmine Pierce Morris was described by family members and friends as a loving, joyous young woman. Jasmine was a part of the first graduating class of the Baltimore Leadership School for Young Women in 2016. According to news reports, anyone that knew Jasmine Morris would tell you her gifts to others were her voice, her heart, and her poetry. Jasmine was a poet, singer, and aspiring model. She had dreams of making it big. Not only was Jasmine talented, she also had beauty and brains. Jasmine was a student studying at her dream school, Coppin State University, while holding down a job at Amazon. Jasmine was special to so many. According to news reports, on the night of June 11, 2018, 20-year-old Jasmine Morris was supposed to do her overnight shift at Amazon, but she never made it. She was last seen around 4:30 p.m. that day. Jasmine's mother reported her missing when she didn't come home around 1:30 p.m. the following day. Reports say that on the morning of June 12, 2018, on the 2400 block of Westfield Avenue in Northeast Baltimore at around 10:30 a.m., a woman was walking her dogs by the bleachers at Reginald F. Lewis School of Business and Law High School, when during her walk, something caught her dog's attention. The field is about a half a mile from the high school. As the woman approached what was piquing her dog's interest, she discovered a horrific scene. She quickly called 911 and reported what she had seen. According to reports, Baltimore police arrived around 11 a.m. and discovered an unresponsive female suffering from apparent trauma to her body. She was transported to a nearby hospital and sadly pronounced unalive. Police identified the woman as 20-year-old Jasmine Pierce Morris. The details of her passing was hard for Jasmine's family to take. According to court records, police found Jasmine Morris's body on the bleachers in a kneeling position with her face on the ground in a pool of blood. Her hands were bound with rope and she was suffering from trauma to her neck. A prom photo featuring Jasmine and a young man was found at the crime scene. This evidence may have given investigators a possible person of interest. According to reports, investigators spent about 5 hours at the scene collecting evidence. Just 2 days later, police had made an arrest in Jasmine Morris's case. Officials arrested and charged 22-year-old Marine at the time, Christopher Rather, with first and second degree hit, assault, and reckless endangerment in connection to Jasmine Morris's gruesome slaying. A SWAT team descended on Christopher Rather's home a little after 5 in the morning on the 6600 block of Knotwood Court. According to news reports, police told the media the slaying was domestic related. Days leading up to the arrest, police say in court documents that friends and family of Jasmine revealed that Christopher Rather was Jasmine's ex, and that they were concerned that he was obsessed with the aspiring model and singer. According to reports, Jasmine and Christopher were once dating and even attended Jasmine's junior prom together. According to charging documents, a distraught friend of Jasmine Morris, who lived states away, shared a text message with police that was sent at approximately 8 p.m. on June 11, 2018, the last day her mother said she saw her. Jasmine Morris texted, "So, Chris wanted to talk to me today, right? I'm meeting him at this football field. I think this is going to be our last conversation. He told me he was leaving, might be going to California or Hawaii. I'ma find out when he gets here, but ain't that good news?" The friend told police that Jasmine Morris was trying to avoid her ex and had started dating someone else. According to reports, the friend also told police that Jasmine had stopped sharing her location data with them at roughly 12:30 a.m. on June 12, 2018. The friend informed police that the young man Chris, with whom Jasmine was supposed to have met prior to her slaying, lived on East Northern Parkway in Northeast Baltimore. According to the charging documents, detectives searched motor vehicle administration records and found Christopher Rather's address less than a half a mile from the crime scene. Investigators also confirmed he was the man they had seen in the prom photo found at the scene of the crime and in Facebook photos with Jasmine Morris. Charging documents went on to say when Christopher Rather was taken to the police's homicide unit for questioning, he claimed to have had 2 alibi witnesses. Those witnesses were interviewed, and their stories did not corroborate his statements, charging documents said. One witness even admitted that Christopher had asked him to lie to investigators. Police had also obtained and executed a warrant to collect DNA samples from Mr. Rather to test against DNA collected at the crime scene. He was held at central booking while he awaited his bail hearing. According to news reports, Christopher Rather's last 2 Facebook posts before his arrest expressed surprise and sorrow over Jasmine's passing. The first post left at 10:59 a.m. the day after Jasmine's slaying read, "Hell no, 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 I'm not trying to believe it. R.I.P. to Pretty Jazzy. I never ever thought I'd be making one of these for you. I don't want to believe this at all. Who would take my best friend away from us like this? I can't believe it. Please let this be a lie or a mistake. We were supposed to watch movies." A second post at 12:20 a.m., almost 14 hours after the first read, "I am in complete and utter shock and disbelief. I really cannot believe she's gone. My best friend, ex-lover, my calm, my happiness, my therapist, my motivator, just gone. She was too young and it was not her time to go. Rest easy, baby girl. I will always love you and have you in my heart." Christopher Rather was subsequently denied bail and remained behind bars while he awaited trial. Christopher Rather, according to his Facebook at one point, was an active member of the United States Marine Reservists. The Marines at the time said they were aware of Christopher Rather's charges. According to news reports, Christopher had joined the Marines in 2015 and in his 3 years of service was never deployed. According to charging documents, though, he may have been set for training in California the week of Jasmine's slaying. Jasmine's family mourns her loss tremendously. Jasmine was committed to her family, friends, and her faith. Jasmine graced her community with her beauty and talent. She performed in stage plays, including The Lion King and The Nutcracker. She also sang in her church choir. Her dad described her as an angel. Her mom expressed how much her daughter meant to her and her family. Jasmine was the youngest of 7 children. She was so loved and cherished by everyone who knew her. Fast forward a year later to July 2019. Christopher Rather stood trial for the slaying of his ex-girlfriend, the beautiful Jasmine Pierce Morris. According to reports, prosecutors presented evidence they said proved Christopher Rather, 23, had taken his ex-girlfriend Jasmine Morris's life the year prior in June 2018. Prosecutors recounted what they said was a tumultuous romance and described the defendant as a jilted lover because Jasmine had recently begun dating someone else. Prosecutors accused Christopher Rather of brutally slaying Jasmine and then leaving her body at the bleachers of a football field. They began the testimony with the woman who first discovered the grisly scene. They played her chilling 911 call in court. According to court records, Jasmine's autopsy took 5 hours, and her injuries were so gruesome, some jurors had to look away when shown in court. According to reports, Christopher Rather sat with his head down and wrote on a yellow notepad and did not look up. Christopher Rather's defense attorney maintained his client's innocence. Christopher Rather had no prior record and no prior domestic allegations. According to reports, his defense attorney argued that detectives botched the investigation, mishandled evidence, and set out to blame the boyfriend. The defense attorney told the jury detectives failed to follow up on other leads and interview other people. Loved ones in the courtroom sobbed as they listened to testimony. Prosecutors also presented evidence they said placed Christopher Rather in the bleachers. According to reports, prosecutors said cell phone signals placed him at the scene. Court records also indicated that the DNA of the defendant was found on the rope that was used to bound Jasmine. Court documents revealed that a mixture of DNA from the defendant and Jasmine was also found on Christopher Rather's shoe when he was taken into custody. According to reports, detectives located a towel from the defendant's trash at the Eastern landfill in Baltimore County, which had Jasmine's DNA on it. Prosecutors also noted the prom photo that was discovered with Jasmine's body. The trial lasted about a week. After closing arguments, the jury deliberated for 2 days and came back with a verdict of guilty of second-degree hit. According to reports, when Christopher Rather heard the verdict, he hung his head down. He was also found guilty of 1 weapons charge. The juror acquitted him of first-degree hit. Unlike first-degree, second-degree doesn't require premeditation. Jasmine's family packed the courtroom for the verdict. According to reports, some cried and hugged each other when the foreman read guilty. At his sentencing later that year, in October 2019, Christopher Rather was sentenced to 43 years in prison, which was the maximum sentence he could have received. 14 months after Christopher Rather was sentenced, his conviction was overturned in December of 2020. According to reports, the Maryland Court of Special Appeals found that a Baltimore circuit judge improperly blocked Christopher Rather's attorney from questioning prospective jurors at his 2019 trial. That conviction was vacated because of a judge's decision during jury selection. Christopher Rather's attorney attempted to ask if any prospective juror would be unable to follow the court's instructions on what constitutes reasonable doubt, along with questions about whether they would penalize Christopher Rather if he decided not to testify at trial. The Baltimore Circuit Judge did not allow the questioning. Since Christopher Rather's trial, Maryland's appeals court have ruled that any defendant who is not allowed to ask those questions must be granted a new trial. The family of Jasmine could not be reached for comment on the prospect of a new trial, according to news reports. During my research for this video, I was not able to find any updates on a new court date. Fam, tell me your thoughts about this tragic story in the comments below. I send my deepest and most sincerest condolences to Jasmine's family and loved ones. From what I read about her, Jasmine was a light that brightened up every space she entered. She was full of life and ambition. I'm sure Jasmine was looking forward to all that life had to offer her. She did not deserve to die in such a horrendous manner. It's just heartbreaking. May Jasmine rest peacefully. You know, scripture says to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. I hope that Jasmine's family and loved ones can rest assured that Jasmine is in a better place. I will continue to pray for the family during this difficult time. I hope lasting closure comes soon. Alright fam, that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching and your continued support. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 Times, and I'm out.